Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? I'll get comfortable. Knock once for yes, for no. Hello, hello, hello. It's a little late tonight for me. It's 11:21 p.m. UK time. How you doing, Stooge? It's heading towards the witching hour. We're going to delve deep tonight. I want to say a crisis update. I want to do a healing show tonight for everybody. I want to talk about where we are at as a human race and where we are going. So I'm waiting for everybody to come on. I've got makeup in my eye. I've just had a distraught phone call. That's why I was a bit late. From a friend who needs healing tonight, Sandra. So we'll do that for her as well. Good evening, everybody. I'm fine. I'm just dead busy. You know, playing everything at the moment, from Nurse Jones to Kitty Mammy to Psychic LJ to a Psychic globally. How yous all doing? It's very heavy at the minute. The planets aren't helping. You had a song in your head? It's called It's a Riddle. All right. Well, everything's a riddle at the minute, isn't it? Stooge has been diagnosed with hypertension today because of my headaches. It's very heavy weather, isn't it? So you'll get some healing tonight. Everyone's feeling the healing, the negativity. So I thought, well, I was thinking, what should we talk about? And it's got to be spiritual stuff again. I've had problems all day with downloading, you know how I clip things for Twitch, for everybody on YouTube. And I've put something nice together. It'll be out tomorrow night. Major problems downloading. Something's wrong with everything, with all my equipment. And I suspect it's just the planets playing up, or maybe it's something else. Because I've got everything, I've got all the spyware stuff on and everything. But I've had problems today with downloading. In between, I took the kitties to the vets. Looking after my son, he's been a little bit over the last couple of days. I think everybody who's got mental health is really feeling it at the minute with where the planets are. It's the Mercury retrograde. But it's going to change I believe it's going to change by the end of the week. I believe we'll start to see some relief. It depends on where your charts are lying as well. Yes, Mercury retro. So everyone's managing at the minute, and this is for everybody global. So hello, guys. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all are around the world. It's been stormy over here. It's been trying to storm again. We had some thunder earlier on, and I always get a headache with a storm, like a headache. But I'm feeling okay. Mentally, I'm feeling fine. Spiritually, I'm feeling fine. I've got very sore knees, extremely sore knees. So if somebody can write my name in the comment section when we get started, I need some healing on my knees. I think I've inherited my nana's knees. She ended up having 2 false kneecaps in the end, which I'm trying to avoid. So anyway, there'll be watch for a rollout of videos to come your way on YouTube. I've just been getting used to things. The kittens are as good as gold. Good as gold. I'm just like juggling myself at the minute. I had my dad here yesterday. As you know, he's got dementia. But he was walking canny. I got him a walking stick. I got him this cool walking stick from, hiya there, Heather. Hi, Kelly. Hi, everybody. Mickey, Monkey, and Edwin. And yeah, I got my dad this lovely walking stick from the charity shop. It was only £2. Big wooden walking stick. And he was happy with that, bless him. Because he's become wobbly on his feet. This all happened in the lockdown, by the way. He was diagnosed in the lockdown, or just before the lockdowns happened a couple of years ago, with dementia. But he was physically fine. Then he started to go didgery on his feet because every day he was going on the bus to see my mother. My mum and dad's divorced, by the way, but they're good friends, okay? So what he used to do was, because he likes to go around charity shops. That's probably where I get it from. And he used to go to antique places and collect his antiques and get all these Bibles and that. And he's a bit of a traveller, my dad. And so every day he'd go on the bus and go to town, go to the market, go to his favourite little places, and then he'd go back on the bus and go and see my mother. Well, that all stopped in the lockdowns. And I think it majorly affected him, you know. So he wasn't getting his exercise, and then he just deteriorated terrible within the lockdowns. He comes and sees me on a Monday. He was living with his guys, by the way, but we had to get him into a sheltered accommodation because he was driving me round the twist. He's a bit of a handful, my dad, but he's lovely. And he's somebody who has the news on loop. Do you know what I mean? Like the Sky News, it's on a loop, blasting. Well, that's not me. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, he wanted to live on his own, so we got him a nice little sort of sheltered accommodation. So he's got his own flat and he can press the bell when he needs it. He's getting out and about a bit now, but anyway, he's become weak on the legs. So I got him a walking stick and he's happy with that. I mean, he could have got a one. You know, he can get it all off the NHS, but I just thought it would be nice if I got him one. And my mother's the complete opposite. She's really savvy on the computer. She's really intelligent. She was the one who wrote my dad's book. My mother's an author. But she's broken, you know what I mean? So I would appreciate if somebody today could send some healing out for my family as well. Write the names, because I can't write the names when I'm doing all of this. So it's Heather, my mother, Louis, my dad, Lou, he gets called, and my son Adam, and just my whole family, you know, to keep my whole family, like my lucky boy, safe. My oldest son, I don't talk about him much because I've never had a pick of bother off him. He's big, strong lad. He's always worked all his life. He's very Mr. Sensible, but he's so sensitive. And he works hard. So I think that for my oldest son, Luke and Georgia, they would like healing and protection for possibly money luck, because I know they want to move. And he works really hard, you know, and it doesn't, this country in the UK, I suppose it's the same in the US, doesn't make it easy for working class people, for the younger generation, you know, young families and that. And then, of course, my youngest son, Adam, who is very delicate at the moment, recovering from cocaine addiction. I've never held it back. I've always, you know, I just think it's a big, massive problem, and it's not just in the UK, it's over the whole of the globe. Yeah. Oh, thank you there, Kim. And I've just got my pony kneecaps. I've just got sore kneecaps, guys. But yeah, Adam is basically wouldn't be here now if he didn't have me. But he's off the drugs, but it's left him very different. And within that time scale, they got him tested and they found out he's autistic spectrum, which he's struggled all his life, and ADHD and all of that. So we're getting him back into society. He lost all his friends, bless him, because a lot of his friends were on the same sort of substance. They were possibly the wrong friends. He's kept a few, and he's just trying to get him back into society. He's gone massively into the church, my youngest son. Massively. So he's mixing now with a local church. It's getting him out a bit once a week. So I'm a bit like Nurse Jones. I'm Mama Jones, Nurse Jones, if you know what I mean. And then I've just had a friend on the phone who's having a massive meltdown because she's got mental health. So if somebody could write Sandra's name in the comment section, that would really help her as well. The veil is thin at the minute, guys, and my little mum, she's broken-hearted, you know what I mean? She's got a lot of health problems. She's got heart failure, my mother. She's broken-hearted is the word, and people can actually die of a broken heart, you know, and they're in my prayers every night, my mum and dad. I love them dearly. I'm getting welled up here. life is so precious, guys. It's so, so precious. And I don't know, I've struggled all my life with my mother, you know. We clashed. And it took this is awful, but it took Paul's passing, my dear, dear brother, who I am very close with, always will be. My one and only sibling, it did something to my mum and me, and it made her close, so close. So we've shared a lot of tears, a lot of hugs. And yeah, it needs to be talked about. Oh, aliens are definitely coming there, Franklin. Grief is something that needs to be talked about more, and being a medium, I deal with people on a daily basis. Yeah. And I know yous are all hurting in the audience one way or another. And not to mention when you lose pets as well. You know, they play a big part as well. And it needs to be more normalised, grief and mental health. So I want to talk about all of this tonight, and where society's going. Because I've been so busy over the last week or so, I haven't had much time to look on in Morocco to do with the earthquake, and I was looking at some videos last night of it. It was horrendous. And I also want to send prayers out to people in Morocco tonight who are homeless, and it drops cold there at night time. Oh, thank you, Agador. But yeah, my knees I don't think I've got much knee cap left, guys. It's quite awful, actually. I'm not a one for going to the doctors. I need to go to the doctors about it. But it brings everything to home when you're seeing horrific things like that happening around the world, and how grateful we are wherever we're living in the West, or places where we don't have horrific things like that happening. I do believe that we're living in biblical times. Hiya there, Kevin Brownie. Hiya, Jane. So I'm going to get a cup of coffee. The kittens are asleep at the minute. They're such angels, guys. And I'm so impressed with cats. I mean, my dear dogs, I lost them in the lockdown as well. Oliver was 20, you know. My Ollie. 2 Jack Russells and little Sissy. She was 19. And my heart was broken when I lost them. They were like my bairns, you know, my little babies. But you know what it is when you've got a dog. You house train them. You get like the mats near the door, and you get puddles on the floor, and it's hard work to train a dog. Mind you, I must say Jack Russells are very easy dogs to train because they're clever little dogs. They're actually a big dog and a little dog. Hiya, Marina. But the cats, I grew up with a cat. I had a little cat called Misty when I grew up, when I was little at home. But obviously being an adult all my life, I've always had dogs. And I've gone back to the cats, and I am so impressed how intelligent and clean they are. I've got the most remarkable little girls ever. They are intelligent beyond belief. They are using the litter trays. There's 2 litter trays in the house, and one's got one and one's got the other. It's like they've got their own toilets. They are so cute, so funny. Just little darlings they are. Little darlings. I took them to the vets today, the pet hospital, for their kitten checkup, and they're doing really well. And yeah, so it's just been one of them weeks, guys, you know. I think it's like, as a mother, but I think men are feeling it too. It's like we're juggling everything, aren't we? it's like time is fastening up. Everything's becoming fast. Oh, fighting in the potty. They've both got their own potty. Zella, the little black one, she is so loving. I've been watching videos on Bombay cats, how loving they are. And little Nala, the tiger one, she's such a baby. And she cries when you put the hoover on. I've got to pick her up. Adam does the hoovering for us. He's a good hooverer. I think men are good hoovers. Do you not think that the men are good at vacuuming? Like women do it like that and men just go psh, 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 and they just do it really quick. Anyway, I had to pick her up this afternoon when the house was getting hoovered. But they're just so funny, their personalities, and I've really bonded with them. And then the little black one, Zella, she shapeshifts. And every time I talk about Trump, she comes and sits next to us. I'm convinced she's like a person stuck in a little cat. So, and you know, this happened to me before. I've talked about it. My first Jack Russell, little Jackie boy, I got him from a gypsy camp. He was a clever little dog. And he lived till he was 2. It was the most devastating. It was my first dog I got, and I was devastated. I had this dog walking to heel. He did party tricks. He was so funny. He looked like Basil Brush. And he'd walk on his hind legs and dance and everything. He was a clever little dog. And he'd swallowed a stone in the garden. And the vet, it was a different vet, hadn't picked it up. And he ended up with peritonitis. And God bless him, he died of peritonitis. He ended up having an emergency operation and didn't make the operation. And I took a massive drop with the grief for that. And at the time, I was a young woman. I went rushing around all the different churches because I'm really spiritual. And I wanted to know why I wasn't warned as a medium while he, you know, so I could have got him saved. And where my guide was, I was angry with Jed. That's my main guide, Jed. He's from the Sioux tribe. He's a Native American. He's been with us all the time I've been a medium. And I hunted from church to church, and that's how I met Mike. And Mike was at the little Christian church, little 16th century church, and he looked like the wizard off Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings with the big long white beard. And he opened the church up for us late at night. Not many people would do that because they're always locked over here, you know. And he said a prayer for little Jackie boy. And he said to us, I said, why wasn't my guide there? I'm really angry. I've lost all my faith. And he said, you know the answers, Louise. He says, I'll leave you in here for a few minutes. And I was looking at this old 16th century stained glass window standing in the church. And the light came through. And I felt all emotional. And it was Jed. He says, I'm back. He says, I never left your side. He came down as a little Jackie boy. And I believe our animal kingdom, there's a soul behind them big brown eyes. And that's why he wasn't there in the spirit. He was right by my side. At the time, I was going through a lot of black magic attack. And I was learning a lot. I was cleaning houses. I was demonic. I was witnessing, you know, when they get rid of the demons, exorcisms and all of that. I was going through a dark period in my life where I had to be thrown in the deep end. I believe I've had to face all these dark demons to then come out the other end to be the shaman I am. So that's why I believe Jed came down in physical form, but he came down as my little dog. So I look at these two little babies and I love them so much. I believe they've been my children before. And I know there's some of you in the audience. I know Maria's in the audience and she lost her dear little dog, Cooper. We feel like they were children, you know what I mean? Some of these special souls just touch upon your heart like people. Michelle O'Malley, looking for a great product to get rid of cat's wee. Is it a Tom that you've got, is it? I'll check that out for you for the next stream. I know you miss Cooper so badly, because I believe Cooper, Marina, was part of your soul family. So what I'm going to say, and what Michelle Marshall's put here in YouTube, is our animals on this planet are already in 5D. They're in 5th dimension. They can see what we can't see. They can feel what we can feel. And everything's breaking down. I feel so emotional tonight. Yeah? Just take no notice of it. I'm just the girl what talks to the wall. Everything's breaking down, and the food industry is going to play a part of that. And the animals come in that. And I'm not saying we're all going to become vegetarians, but the meat trade needs to change. The meat trade needs to change. I make us laugh, guys. I had 2 ladies at the house yesterday evening, and they came in, and Nala just goes and runs away. She goes and hides away in a tree, and then Zella's out. She's doing a slinky catwalk like that. She's all, she is. And the woman goes, "Oh, I don't like cats." I don't know, guys. I wouldn't go into someone's house and say that, would you? But never mind. I says, "Oh, well, I'll wait till my son comes back from the shops, and, you can take her." So anyway, I got her in first, and then I came back through, and Zella was sitting on the woman's knee, the other woman's knee. And she said, "Oh, she's gorgeous." She was purring on her knee. So then I got that lady in who liked the cats, and then I brought Zella in, and then I seen Zella sneak out of the room. And then she was sitting on the woman's knee who didn't like cats, and she's going, "Oh, she's lovely." And she was purring. So, maybe some people are just scared of cats or frightened of showing the love for cats. Some people don't like cats, do they? But maybe it's to do with a past life thing or programming from their parents. You really don't know. Oh, you've got a Nala, have you, Heather? You need healing for her, for your doggy. Your mother was terrified of cats. Isn't it funny? I used to be scared of dogs. I got bit by an Alsatian when I was little. Well, no. Chased by an Alsatian, and it was snarling, ready to bite us, should I say. And it stuck in my head. But I think you've got to have the animal to overcome it, haven't you? Because I overcome it. And Cat Manor, you will be receiving healing tonight, my sweetie, for your cancer journey. And I do believe that you're going to come through this. You're going to be fine. I think that it's a healing thing when somebody doesn't like a certain animal. It's a healing thing, isn't it? But cats are really, really intelligent. So I just thought I would say that. I'm having it's really nice in here, and they're so funny. They're so funny. And she gives us little love nibbles there. She'll go like that and gently nibble us like that. And she comes right up to my face and that. Our King Charles Cavaliers are so cute. They don't tend to live very long, but so 11's quite good for a Charlie. Because the King Charles, they can be prone to heart problems, can't they? But it's true what they say. Dogs need masters, cats need staff. But I believe cats are from Venus. I really do. I do believe they're little aliens. Oh, staffies. So anyway, let's get started. So for new people coming in on the feed, I'm going to ring my bell, invoke the 4 archangels in Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael, and my guides, and we're going to form this circle of light. It's a bit like coming to a spiritualist church. And then if you need any healing for yourself, any persons, animals, anything, any situation, just write the name in the comment section and you will receive timeless healing. Okie dokie. Yes, the veil is very, very thin. I actually had somebody ring us up this afternoon, wanted to know if I could go over and bless a house and do an exorcism. My good God. I mean, I've never done an exorcism. I've witnessed an exorcism, and I've removed these beings from people's properties. Yeah. But I've never done that. So I told him to go and ring a priest, but I said that I can check him out with a reading and that. I thought, dearie me. I was actually watching something really interesting last night, and it was on Value Entertainment with Bet David. I think it was his video he had done about a year ago, and he had this priest on, and they were talking about exorcisms and that. Funny that, I was watching it last night, and then I get a phone call today. But this is all the stuff I used to do. I used to go out and do all the house clearings with poltergeists and all the creepy stuff, you know. So the veil's thin at the moment, and I think that they're running rampant at the minute, you know, and this is why I've been talking about this for a long time. We have to get centered, we have to keep grounded, we have to look after ourselves. Charity begins at home, and I think that if you can get your home in order and your life in order, I think then you can help your friends and family and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, John. Okay, dokie, it's a bit of a mess in here. Right, 2 minutes. Let's start. I probably could, but I've got a lot on at the moment. But there's been a lot of different people ringing us up. And like I said, I had somebody at the house this afternoon. So I know it's happening. It's definitely happening. All these strange things coming through the atmosphere. We'll look into it tonight. I'm not too near this mic, because sometimes I go like that, and I'm like, people will say, don't go too near the mic. Let's start. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I'm going to use Metrodon as well. You'll come in. I invoke Archangel Metrodon, I invoke Archangel Metrodon, I invoke Archangel Metrodon. See all the colours coming in with him. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, little being of light, A2I is here, and Ra, and any other beings that would like to come forth from on-world, off-world, as above and below we are protected. May this circle of light begin. Amen. There we go. The angels are walking this planet tonight, guys. angels are walking this planet. Yes. We need to, where are we now? Where are we now on this planet? I believe we're in very biblical times. I believe that all the holy books, is it the coming of Christ? Is it the, great change to take place? I don't believe that there's going to be an Armageddon. I think we're actually, we're in it now. We're sort of in it now. It's the events taking place. It's like that. It's like Armageddon. And we are the light beings which have come here, born onto this planet, and we are here and we need to raise the vibration. How do we raise the vibration? This is the thing. When we are suffering so badly, angels are suffering, earth angels are suffering. Just because you're an earth angel, that's your spirit origin, it doesn't mean you're perfect. A lot of earth angels have been warriors. So to heal, we have to heal this part of our life. And then it's like peeling an onion. And then you're going back through centuries and centuries. So a lot of people are born here with karmic roots of pain, attachments. And these demons can come in from all different angles. Yeah? So we are at a point where we're planted on earth, we're born onto this rock, we need a physical body to live in. So we've got to look after it. But we also have to protect our spirit, our mind, our etheric bodies, rainbow, outer auras, balance, balance. And what that priest was saying, what I was watching last night on the Patrick Bet-David show on Value Entertainment, is that Pat had asked him, is it worse times now or back then in Christ times, when Christ walked this planet? And he said that it's worse times now for humanity because we're up against all the AI, all the electronic stuff and social media and everything. So it's dangerous times. Very dangerous times that we're living in. So I've talked about this in my woo-woo shows, how we've got all this technology, what's being held back from when we don't know what's out there. And it's all to do with money and greed. Wars is about money and greed. And that's what the UFO hearings is about, it's going to expose a lot of stuff. We are going to go into a very futuristic world. And I do believe that it's going to be, the technology is going to be brought in before the beings. Even though the beings are here, they are getting used to us living in this futuristic world. And this is what we're at the minute, because we're in this war of, it is a psyop war, whatever it is. It's a spiritual war as well, of who gets the power, because this old system is breaking. The beings are here, guys. My God, Margaret, my vet wanted £500 to treat my cat. It's so shocking, isn't it? You need to get pet insurance, Margaret. That's what I've just set up today. It's a Luciferian world, and it's I've got to be careful what I'm saying because I'm live on YouTube. But the thing what happened a couple of years ago, I believe was an operation, a military operation, because the actual germ has been here longer than humanity. The corona is a germ what's been here longer than humanity, and I've actually channeled her before. The germ. Have you known of anybody who's channeled a germ? She was not happy that she'd been used in an operation. She was not happy. So it's the old system falling, and when people were saying all this intel and that about a year ago or so or more, that it was all going to sort itself out and it was going to be like we're going to be waking up and skipping through the daisy fields, I had to hold back a lot, you know what I mean? Because I was saying all of this stuff on Twitch because people were getting so angry, well, he said and she said that it's going to happen next week and Trump's coming back and da-di-da. And people wouldn't listen, they weren't ready. But people are ready now. We have come a long way within the last 2 years. Have I not shown you the kittens? I had the kittens on the show on Sunday night. When they're awake, I'll bring them on. Don't you worry. They're sleeping in the tree at the minute. Don't worry, they'll be all over the table soon. Marilyn. I had them, I just thought, I've just realised that I've been showing them on Twitch. I've been going on live shows on Twitch. So, what was I saying? Let me get a drink of coffee. We have come a long way within the last couple of years. We really, really have. And, but there's no ending to this spiritual ascension, guys. It just goes on and on and on. Because there's been a lot of misinformation what's been put out there about it. And it's, anybody who's got two halfpence will tell you this. It's, it never ends. It never ends, You heal this life and then you've got to go back to other lives. There's no ending to it. It's peeling an onion. And of course, we're being triggered at the moment as well. So this is why I'm trying to get something out for you, which I did on Twitch on Sunday night. There's 2 things to go out, and I think you'll like them. They're going out on a roll this week. But we need to step out of this political drama show, this Oscar, it's like the Oscars, and look out of it from bird's eye view and actually look what's actually going on. There is no way that the system what's going on in the US at the minute, there is no way it's going to just become all flowery overnight if Trump gets back or somebody else comes in. It's going to take a long time to sort the US out. And the way I say it is, it's an old system what needs to fall and change. It needs to change quick because it's not helping the people. It's toxic poison. And the divide in the US is so divided. When you're looking at it as a Brit from the outside and looking at it as a spiritual person, there'll always be a divide there until something changes. They need to get rid of all the oldies and they need to start again. And it is a massive distraction, is what Living Light said there on YouTube. It's unabstainable, isn't it? So it'll be all eyes on the US over the next year, definitely. So it can become exhausting if you really are passionate about it. I mean, I've got to cover it because it's part of my job, do you know what I mean, for yous lot. But because I do the will predictions and I can't just leave that out because it would look a bit silly, wouldn't it? it's what goes on in the US will affect the rest of the world. But what I see is a spiritual person is there is a transformation taking place, and we're going to go all futuristic, and everybody's moving with the times. And as I look on, like, the US is still fighting. There's going to be a lot of resistance there. Will the 2024 elections change anything? No. No, Teddy. I believe that there'll be ructions on. I think it'll be after the 2024 election. It'll be whatever takes place is going to pave the way for a better society. It's funny you should say that, Franklin, right? I've got a problem with Siri. Them Alexa machines are listening devices for the governments. You laugh your head off. So I use Facebook, right? I know a lot of people pull Facebook down, but they're damn good for my business. They raked my business in, and it's free advertising. I can't knock Facebook for that. But I've got a problem, right? Because I've got all the Apple machines, and I turn Siri off, and he keeps turning himself back on again, and I keep turning them off. I have to keep checking it. And Siri then decided to go into my appointment system and start booking my bloody customers in. Well, that doesn't work for me because, I mean, he might be trying to help, but it's just mucking my bit up because I'm writing it in here. You see what I mean? So it's the AI robots trying to take over. It's a strange old world we're living in. But I have this vision, where I've come back from the future, and I've dealt with these little metal Mickeys before, you know what I mean? And they can be very annoying. Queen Wanda. Siri decided to call my ex-boyfriend last week. Oh my God, that's naughty. Have you got a female Siri or a male Siri? I've got a male Siri. Ooh, that's a bit strange. My director says her Fitbit watch shocked her today. Yours is female. Mine's male over here in the UK. Sometimes I'll turn it on and I'll wind him up and I'll start asking them questions like who is the president of the United States and all of this, and just trick questions, you know what I mean? Once I got somewhere with it, and I wish I'd recorded it, it was quite creepy. But anyway, they do listen in, because sometimes I might just be randomly sitting here and I'll effing blind when I'm on my own, you know what I mean? And then you'll come on and say language, and I'll say, what you're listening for, you shouldn't be listening, go away. And I have to go and turn it off again. It's like he pops in there and pops in. So they're taking my information. It's obvious, isn't it? Well, we've known this for a long time. But it's the intelligence what's coming in. So it's the fight of who's running it. Basically, it's the fight of who is running this intelligence. So it's going to take time to clear everything up as we're going through this transition. And I've said this on Sunday night. You can't decorate without having a mess. Franklin, the governor. I asked Alexa who is the United States president, and it replied Mr. Bean. That is so funny. So AI is, I think it's in the learning curve at the minute what they've got there, but you're talking highly intelligent stuff. And this is where Musk was going on about there has to be a restriction on it, otherwise it can take over. Do you know what I mean? So, but I had this flash from a past life. It looked very like Star Trek energy. And they're playing a part in my society. The synths and all of that. It's out. It's like totally out. And I see this to come on Earth. Definitely. So I don't believe the world's going to end. I believe the world of our reality is going to end and we're going to a new reality, and that's what New Earth is. So if you look into like the Bible and things like that and all the holy books, it's there's hidden scriptures, there's hidden messages in the scriptures, should I say. Oh, thank you, Anne. I should have got some juice and made myself a coffee before I started. Okie dokie. So we've got it's going to be very trying, I believe, this year and next year. And we haven't got to get triggered. And yes, you can easy, if you want, you can cut away from the world news and all the political system and all of that. But you still have your daily stuff. Depending on where you live in the world, of course. I was walking back from the shops yesterday and two kids approached us and the mother was next to them and they said, have you seen a little boy with dark hair, like 7 years old, wandering around? I says, why? And apparently the police were crawling around the school. He had gone missing from the playground, guys. I don't know. It hasn't been on the news, so maybe he's been found. But it did hit the local radio around here that a little boy had gone missing. And the mother was upset and the police, all the bobbies were out looking, all the, the law was out looking to find this little boy. So it is very worrying over here, you know what I mean? And no doubt everywhere else, it's like you can't let your kids play outside, but to send a kid to school and for them to play in the playground and then they go missing out the playground is very worrying. So we're getting triggered with all sorts of strange things at the minute, and I want to say, without sounding to frighten everybody, it's like I'm just the girl and you're talking to us in the kitchen, like if you'd come round for a cup of coffee. But it's scary times we're living in, guys, isn't it? It's really worrying, and evil's on the loose at the moment, I think. I need to smudge my house again. I'm always smudging, and burning stuff, and but we really need to be careful at the moment. And the devil isn't somebody who just appears with a red tail and horns. He's coming through individuals. He's coming through accessing into people who are wide open, and this is why people are doing these awful crimes. So we really need to keep our feet firmly on the ground, and we need to be like, we are the Fred and Wilma Flintstones, basically. Going through a transition into a new age. So we have to find the caveman and cavewoman within us, keeping grounded. So yeah, I'm not saying we're looking for dinosaurs, but you never know. We need to stay vigilant. And that means keeping fit, keeping well, being around nature. Do you see what I mean? Finding your joy. There's been a lot of kids going missing, hasn't there? There's been a child who went missing in water. Dear me. Yeah, that little boy, wasn't it, in Greece, Ben Needlam. She never recovered from that, And little Ben Needlam didn't get the publicity like Maddie McCann did. It's we can all have our opinions on certain things. And I'm going to say something tonight, right? If people get away with things here, they don't get away with things when they go back over and meet the maker. Because this is school and this is where we learn. And you can't change anybody, but you can change the way somebody affects you. So over the last, shall we say, 5 years, we have come to understand that when our face came out onto YouTube, I was talking about it. There's a world we, remember when our face used to come out? There's a world we know and there's a world we don't know. I'd be standing there with my crystal ball, trying to talk posh, but now I'm just myself. We have come to understand that this underworld is really, really there. And we've gone through it, nitpicking and understanding and looking into things and realising certain people in the media are connected, and I'll not say names, but when you take a step back, and Jed told me this, you take a step back and just, God always puts it right in the end. And if people get away with things here, they'll not get away with it when they go back over. We have to have free will. Exactly. It's the attitude that you choose in these times. You either spiral out of control and sit there waiting for the next intel, or you take control from tonight. And this is what I was saying on Sunday night. You've got to take control and look after you, number one. I've got a plan. It might not be a good plan, but it's sort of a plan that I know that if the world went upside down and the whole system fell, yes, I might not be out on here doing this for yous, but I could hit the road in a gypsy caravan and live off the road and do my readings like my great nana did. I'll be okay, because I know I don't need this system. This system's great because it reaches out globally, but you've got to have a plan if everything goes down how you would survive. Does that make sense? You can't change anybody, but you can change the way someone affects you. Again, that's easier said than done when it's somebody, when you get triggered by somebody you love. I'm going to talk about attachments tonight. So you've got to have your plan in order. I don't believe the system would go down for a long time. I think that we could have cyber attacks. I do believe that, we're heading that way. Because even the internet has to change. I put some horrible little flies in here, guys. I had some bananas, like, them fruit fly things. And I got rid of the bananas and they're flying about, the little red flies. I'll get my spray and spray them. What was I saying? Everything's going to change. What was I saying, guys? We have to have a backup plan, yes. We definitely have to have a backup plan. The world is in for a massive change. Oh yeah, the internet. The internet is a big one. It's global connection. And then you've got the dark web. People say, don't go on the dark web. It's bad. Don't go on that dark web. But little do you know that the dark web is also hiding a lot of other things. Yeah, you can access where all the criminals are, but it's also, if the dark web's there, what else is there? Think about it. I was given a download that we only have a little slice of the internet, and we're kept in our little container round Earth where we can communicate with different people in the country. But the elite, right, they're accessing a situation where they're FaceTiming people on Mars, all over the place. Like, you're talking universal. Universal. It's that's where we're at the minute. So everything's changing, and the internet is going to change as well. So there's a lot of crimes on the internet. You're talking like nasty things happening, you know, what they're doing with children and selling stuff and stuff like that. Nasty, nasty stuff. And we are getting tracked, but you've got to understand that the bad lot have still been running the show. They've still got their fingers in the pie there at the moment. But once the good guys are coming into it, it's going to be, they're going to bring in cyber police is going to be a big thing. We'll have cyber police, it's going to be very safe. But you will have people who will say, you know, we're completely AI now and we are all Big Brother, but it's also going to be safer. And it's because whoever's running it behind the show, it's going to be the good people. I wouldn't know, John. I haven't been on the dark web. The dark web is so slow. But I'm seeing if the dark web's there, what else has been hidden? That's what I'm saying. So everything's going to change. So we're going through a transition. The food industry is going to change. What I'm feeling, and I've just had a little bit of intel tonight from somebody. I've got to be careful what I'm saying, but it will come out. Of the disgusting stuff, what is in the water in the UK, and we've been told you shouldn't really be drinking the tap water. I am going to be investing and looking into some filter. I will let you know. I'm going to get one for my family as well. But we need to. This has come in from the water board as well, by the way, Northumbria Water. And I don't live very far from a reservoir, but it's not safe apparently. And we're not just talking chlorine, we're talking nasty things in the water like Ebola and stuff like that. So we need to start. Not everybody can go out and buy an expensive filter. So there'll be a lot of stuff to come out about that into the future. And they're going to have to replace the pipes, and they're going to have to, no doubt it'll be the same in the US as well, you know, it's replacing everything. Will I drink tap water, Star Moon Stars? But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It just makes you wonder. I feel that, I don't know how long the system's going to go down for, Ron. I'm just going on my psychic feeling. I really don't know. I mean, 24 hours to 3 days is long enough. Do you know what I mean? But I've talked about this before as well. If it did go down, how you would keep your spirits up. Yes, you can prep and you can have your food in, you can have your candles. But there is such thing that people can have meltdowns. And it's trying to like not get bored, entertain the kids, entertain the big kids, get board games. Read a book in candlelight, you know what I mean? Crayons in, daft things like that. You know, like dominoes, play little games and stuff like that. Things how we can keep people's spirits up. So what's actually in the water is a lot of sewage and pharmaceuticals. Well, apparently, Franco, there's a certain filter what can remove the viruses and micro critters. But I don't know the actual, I'm going to get the more information, I'll let you know. So crafts and stuff like that, keep things to keep our spirits up. It's about looking after our spirits if anything did go down. Little emergency box, a torch, some candles. You know what I mean? I've talked about this before. We need hot water bottles. I know we don't need them at the minute, like, but, well, depending where you live in the world. Unless you're in Antarctica. But you need, like, hot water bottles. So, like, if the heating went off and the electricity went off and we had no light and heat, and I believe we could get an extreme winter this year, just boil your water. Yeah. Even if you get like a little camping stove, yeah, if you have to. And you could put the hot water in a hot water bottle and it can keep your family warm, or get some hot water bottles, that type of thing. But I was talking about getting a flask if you do have your electric on. You know, do it every night. Do it in the evening. Just fill your flask full of hot water, and then you don't have to keep boiling the kettle. Just in case we did have a power cut, then you've got hot water overnight in the flask. We did have a lot of power cuts in the 70s in the UK, and it would be intermittent. It kept coming and going, coming and going. We may get them as well. You can get the water purification systems, filter systems. Yeah. So we need to look into all of these things. So the beings that I channel and my guides, they tell me that the whole system is rotten to the core and it's going to take time to change everything over. And of course that'll include everything to do with the banking system and big pharma. But when you're looking at all of this, right, you've got to understand there's far more good on this planet. And this is what we need to be focusing on tonight. There's far more good on this planet than there is bad. So it's about us not getting triggered against the evil. So like I say, I'm not saying it's like the devil's going to appear with a red tail and that, you know, with his fork, you know, and his horns and that. It's not like that. He has many different faces, Satan does. Old Nick, I call him. He can trick you in many different ways. He's very deceiving. But I'm a great believer that you get to that state of enlightenment. You can actually heal demons if they want to be healed. I believe anything is possible when you get to that level of consciousness. So the only way we can combat this darkness, if you get, you know, don't get angry, get even, is to use your light. And we can get triggered because it's coming at me every different direction. So by keeping grounded and keeping your family safe, I think that does help. There's attack on everything. There's attack on the church at the moment. Because where you've got the day state, you've also got the deep church. Bridgetta, Louise, got told my job will be terminated at the end of the month. God bless you. Send my CV to another company. Will it be successful? Yes. And don't give up. All right. 2 to 3 weeks, Bridgetta. Okay. So it is very exhausting. And a lot of people have been getting really triggered and the planets haven't helped with people. But it is going to lift. It's going to get better. It's definitely going to get better. How do attachments come in? Everybody who's in a relationship, you'll get attachments. If you're in a sexual relationship, good God, if I knew what I knew then when I was young, it's quite shocking. And I worry about the younger generation, you know, because as we are starting to transform and we're becoming highly more ascended, the younger generation are up against so much, you know. So when you engage in a sexual relationship with somebody intimately, you'll get attachments. Like beautiful spiritual codes come in when you're in love with somebody, or a baby and a mother, or a family. You've got attachments. We've all got attachments. Healthy attachments. Negative attachments come in when you're in a toxic relationship, or when someone's trying to narcissists, abusers. So what they do is they get the hook into you, and I've seen some hooks in people where they've gone right to the base of the chakra, the base chakra, and they can be unhooked out, but they can hook you in, and then they're normally very dark, you know. So they have to be unhooked. But if you're engaging with these people, they can keep hooking them back in, hooking them back in. Reptilian, there's certain type of attachments. I've come to understand over the years that I've cut cords off me from reptilian attachments from different people. And they don't like it when you cut the attachments, you know, you can actually smell the blood. It's really quite heavy, yeah. But they're just different to us. And because we are the hybrids, there's different types of hybrids, and you will get a lot of reptilian hybrids are here. So they deserve to be healed too. Everybody deserves to be healed. It's not about, we're all different. And I think that when everything comes out with this UFO hearings, and it all comes out, and it'll all come out with science and scientists and all of that, they'll bring it all out. It's going to change medicine. Big Pharma won't like it, but that is the way we're going forward. And AI, I predict, into the future will overtake Big Pharma. Don't freak about this, guys. It just means that it's not the AI, it's who's behind it. So you've got different types of negative attachments, and you've got healthy attachments, negative attachments. But anything is possible, anything can be healed, you know. And how you unhook, if you feel like you're getting drained by somebody, I'm going to give you a tip tonight, right? So if you feel someone's got a hook into you, or you want to check out, what you do is just lie quietly. You can lie in the dark or just shut your eyes. Now you're going to resist with this. You're going to think it's just your imagination, but it's not, because we've always been told it's our imagination when it's not. And just visualize the person standing in front of you, and let your imagination run riot, and then see if you can see any codes. Might be one or two. And there's loads of different ways you can do this. You can ask Archangel Michael to come in. It doesn't matter how Archangel Michael looks in your mind's eye. Just ask for him to come in. And say, please, Michael. Well, what you say is, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. And say, please, Michael, cut away these negative karmic codes. You could say that. Imagine he's cutting them. Right? And then imagine the person is floating. And ask Archangel Michael to put the person into a blue bubble. You've got to do that. Even if you don't like that person, put them into a blue bubble for healing. And imagine they're just flying away through the distance to heal. And then get the angel to pull the cords. If you do lie in a salt bath, it's good, because you can get out of the bath feeling really light. And you can visualize all the cords going down the plug hole. Okay? And then get the angel to pull the cords out of you. But the thing is, you're going to have holes. And you've got to seal them holes. So then get the angel to put you into a blue bubble so it seals the holes, so that person can't come back at you and latch on again. Now, some people don't realise they're doing it, and some people do. That's what I'm going to talk about tonight as well. Some people deliberately are doing it to people, and some people don't realise they're doing it. And that's not just to do with humanity or hybrid, reptilian hybrids. This is school. We can't help what veins we've come into, who we are, but our spirit is here to do a bit. So you could have somebody who is an earth angel, Get this one. That's the soul origin. And they've been born into a lineage of reptilians. Because we're spirit beings in a meat suit. So that earth angel, if channeled in the right direction, born into that reptilian suit, could be a force to be reckoned with. Do you see where I'm coming from? So we have to look after our veins, and but then you've got, the soul could be reptilian as well. But that doesn't mean they're bad. But when you're cutting away from a reptilian codes, they feel different. As a shaman, I feel them differently. Why would somebody attack you? You've got black magic, you've got curses, and you've got some dark occultists out there. So magic isn't the problem, it's a tool. The magic is not the problem. Witchcraft isn't a problem. It's if you're working on the dark side or the light side. It's just operating out of this physical world. And don't forget, witchcraft was here long before Christianity. Long before Christianity. And then it was made to look bad with all the witch trials, what took place in Salem, in Europe, the UK. I don't live far where they were hanging them. It's really creepy. I was going to take you on a ghost hunt one night and take you down there. So it's and they were persecuted, these young women, and they probably all they were doing was, they might have been doing spells, but it might have been love spells or healing spells. I think that the church went do, and that's where it's at the minute, right? You've got people coming in who pretending they're good because it's labelled as good, but they're not good. Don't judge a book by the cover because you don't know who is what. For example, you could be living in a street and the lady down the street is a witch. People know she's a witch, okay? But she practices good spells. And then you could be going to church on Sunday and the pastor in the church could be absolutely wicked and doing awful things to people. But you would think that going to the church would be the better place to be. So you can't judge a good book by a cover. You've got to go with what you feel. And we're going to start getting new downloads, guys. We're going to start working on different levels and treating people differently. And it's the healing what's taking place. Because probably a lot of you in the audience tonight, have been in situations in past lives where you've suffered this. So this is healing everybody. It's healing everybody. We're healing my ancestral roots. I don't like the word witch. I come from a land where there was a lot of druids and Wicca, witchcraft and all of that. But, it was probably labelled by somebody in the church. Do you know what I mean? I love the church. I couldn't have got through but I'm talking not about the deep church. And really, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian. God's within you. And no matter what you believe in, God is within you. But I couldn't have got through my work if I hadn't have believed in Jesus Christ. That's my take. But you'll have some good mediums out there who won't be a Christian. I broke the mold. I was told at a spiritualist church, well, you can't be a Christian if you're a medium, and you can do spell work. Why can't I? I'll make my own rules up. I'll be who I want to be. I don't go by the book. I just talk to God. I don't talk to the man in the church. I talk to God. It's man who's caused the problem here, and we've come back to recorrect things. Does that make sense? It's how you feel within. Your church is within you. It's nice if you can go to church and you can find a nice church. I've got a nice church down there. Don't go much. you know, but you don't have to go to church. That's what I'm saying. It's in here. That's so funny, Terry Lowe. There is a lot of witches in church and they call themselves Christian. Exactly. So, excuse me, they're hiding behind a smoke screen. Because now we are coming into the higher ascension. Words are spells. All right? We can actually make anything happening by our words. So we have to be so careful what we think, what we put out there into the atmosphere. It's a fantastic time for doing the law of attraction. Fantastic time for doing the law of attraction. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to make a juice. And I'm going to check my kitty cats. I'm just going to leave you running like that. I'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I need a juice. I'll have some of this dodgy tap water. Let that run a minute. Because at 5-5 you can hear us. Sorry about that, guys. I had to nip to the loo. And I had to check my cats. They're still asleep. Oh, one of them's following us through. Good, good, good. Oops. Cheers. I'll get them on in a minute. I'm waiting for them to come through. Stella! They're nearly due their wild half an hour. They'll be jumping all over the table in a minute. Stella! 2 minutes. Is my fast baby? Oh, they're sleeping. They're sleeping. I heard a noise in the hall there. It must have been Oliver coming through from Spirit. No, they're sleeping still. So I caught Zella shapeshifting and she looked like a woman, like a human face. So I'm still trying to figure out who she is. Lorianne, excuse me. I feel that way about my brother and sister. So yeah, we haven't got to get triggered. It's I want to say we haven't got to judge a book by the cover. And it's the same to goes with politics, everything. Really, labels need to come off everything. I think Ollie likes them. I can see my Ollie and Sissy in spirit, and I think he really likes them. He didn't like them when he was on the earth plane, mind. He got beat up by the alley cat. He was a bit of a wuss, our Ollie. That's why I didn't want them running around out there, because we've got TC, what comes around the house, and he's a big alley cat. He's a big TC, top cat. And he chins all the bloody cats in the neighbourhood, you know what I mean? I don't want my girls out there mixing with rough boys. So I've got a cattery for them and that. Yeah, but Oliver, I think he likes them. So Lady Murph on Twitch, I saw 2 of my friends shapeshift into their past lives, yeah. We can't judge we have to go by we can't judge anyone by a cover, and that's where we're at the minute. And you've got to go with what you feel, but try the cord cutting, guys. It really does work. And you can do it on loved one as well if you were worried about them. I always put somebody into a blue bubble. Another one you can do, but I don't think it's as effective. Imagine that you've got, say you're being spiritually attacked by somebody. You can imagine a big figure 8, you know, like infinity, like the 8 on its side. Right? And imagine you've got a little you in there and a little other person who's you feel psychically attacked by. And then imagine the 8's breaking apart. You're just visualizing the 8 breaking apart. That's another one you can do. There's so many different ways you can do it. Yeah. So you've got that going on. You've got people who are getting. Some people know what they're doing. You've got good occultists, bad occultists. You've got. So how do you protect yourself from somebody who's psychically attacking you? It's not being bullied, not standing any shit from no level. So you wouldn't expect somebody to come in off the street into your house and start beating you up. You wouldn't. You would defend yourself, wouldn't you? It's the same in the spiritual world. We have to protect ourselves on every level. So say like if you want to go to sleep at night time, or you program yourself in to go off and astral travel, always ask Michael or whoever you work with to protect your body when you're leaving, to protect your body and your soul, your etheric body and soul. So your body's safe when you're leaving, because you don't need anything else housing it when you're leaving it. But your way is the right way. I'm just giving you my stuff I use, but I use other stuff as well. But what I'm saying to you is it does work that. Another one you can do is you're in the presence of somebody who you feel really intimidating, like a narcissist, or you feel quite choked by them, like they psychically attack you. Try this, guys, right? What you need to do is you need to visualize. Say like they're standing there. Excuse me there. And imagine you're putting yourself into a bubble. Okay? And you could visualize as mirrors around that bubble. And push the bubble out. And if they're standing next to you, you'll find if you're doing it correctly, they'll actually step back because they'll not like it. they'll not like it. You could try that one. Sometimes you can draw your energy in as well if you feel like you need to protect your energy. Some people are so scattered because they're so broken and they need to be put back together again. And then you get people like that who will come in and take off you or try to suck off you. So we've got givers and suckers on this planet in a nutshell. And a lot of you will be in the audience tonight and you think, a lot of you are feeling tired around people at the minute. And you used to be a really socialite type of person, like a social butterfly. And you can't understand now how people are draining you. Energy vampires, yeah. They're the suckers. Doesn't mean they're bad. Some of them might be. Some of them do it on purpose. Catman and my husband's a sucker. You've got to laugh. Yeah. So some people are sucking with and some people are giving with. How do you know someone's giving you? Right? Have you ever been in presence of somebody where you just feel so... It might just be a stranger. And when they're talking and their vibration and you feel like, you don't know why you feel like it, and you get like a tingling going through you, like they're feeding you and they're cleansing you. Has that ever happened to you before, guys? Yeah, like you're cleansed through your veins and you feel really clean after being in their presence. They're natural healers, they're feeding you. But a lot of you in the audience tonight who are natural healers, we've also got to be careful. So you'll get that when you come up against another healer, you'll feel really empowered. Ecstasy. But when you're up against when we're like that and we're feeders, right? I'm a feeder, all right? I like give it to people. Do you see what I mean? But some people are sucking. So you've got to be careful when you're a feeder. You're feeding it out. You're a healer. Because then you could be susceptible to get, if one of these suckers come along, that can suck the living daylights out of you. Old people can do it. Unwell people can do it. Because they're needing the higher self. They don't realise they're doing it, but they're needing your energy. I always get tired after a Monday when my dad's been. I go down like a bag of hammers. And he's not doing it on purpose. He's just needing the energy because he's breaking inside. You see what I mean? So you can use your crystals if you're around your loved ones. You can have your salt baths. They work really well. But everybody's different. What might work for me might not work for you. Silver works. I like silver around the neck. I find it works for my energy field. Copper works as well, just whatever. Remember, your energy is changing all the time, so what might work one day might not work the next day. So there's a lot of the veil is thin, so the vampires have come out. They're on suction mode at the minute. It's like we need to protect our aura. We need to protect our aura from the suckers. Mary, people tell me when I'm around like my friends, I have a very warm energy that's like a healing vibration. Yeah, I can actually feel it, Mary, coming through the internet from you. Cat manner. When I'm with my mother, helping her, I feel so drained the next day. I'm the same. My mother doesn't drain me. But my dad does. God bless him. So use your different crystals, that type of thing. And I think it's part of Ascension. Now, I'm going to get to that, sweetheart. Sweetheart's put something very interesting in Twitch here. I had an energy vampire draining my sexual energy from me in my sleep. How messed up is that? Well, yeah, it is. once you start going down the bloody rabbit hole, yeah. So there's different types of it. Sometimes when you've been in a relationship with an energy vampire, it's hard to cut away. You've got to cut the cords, and 9 times out of 10 there'll be reptilian cords if they're doing that. But then you get people who are, how do I put this? People who are astrally raping people. Yeah. And they are energy vampires. That's what they're doing. Come here, little girl. Are you all right? Come to Mama. Come and show us the ladies. Mommy's girl. She's just getting a drink. Yeah, so because they're probably deviants, sexually deviants, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of them on the planet. Oh, Kylie in Twitch. My Jack Russell is now 17 just this month. He had a few bad days. About to find out I'll have to make the hard decision in the near future. Oh, Kylie, send us his name and we'll send him healing. He's not ready to go yet, sweetie. So, the 2 of them are in now. They're having something to eat. So, yeah, it's how do you protect yourself from somebody who's doing that? It's a tough one, you know. I gotta be so careful what I'm saying here. There was a situation going on in the truth community where somebody was doing it with different people. I'm not going to say names. It's yeah. And he was doing it to a lot of women, actually. And I have a feeling it'll come out at some point. I've got a very good friend. He's called M Seekers of Truth. And he's on YouTube. And he's covered this type of subject. But anyway, you do get these people in that they're wizards. Sometimes they're wizards. They're witches. You know, they could be waiting for the dark side, or they're housing something. They could have attachments themselves. What's trying to use them to get to other people. Do you know what I'm on about, sweetheart? Yeah. Mary, I know people can be not a good person, so I waited like 4 to 5 years until I found you and had my reading, yeah. Well, that's it, being a psychic. Excuse me. Being a psychic doesn't mean you're all holy and now, you know. You could be working for the dark side, but you could be a damn good psychic. It's a spiritual journey for everybody. Nobody's immune to this. But when you start coming into all this occult, you know, different world, because don't forget we're all ahead of the game, so we've already know how to operate the 5th dimension and go there into other dimensions. So you'll find it 9 times out of 10 where I'm not saying we're all occultists, but we know what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? So we know how to combat ourselves against this darkness and stuff like that. We can feel it. It's a thing, you see, right? That they have the right to be here as much as we have a right to be here. But what's happened is, she's going in that potty. What happens is, come and sit, mommy. It's got a bit out of hand. So you've got, when we are ascending, we are opening up and we are accessing into them outer realms, out of this physical world. But we've got the AI stuff, what's going on at this time on Earth. And I think there's been some fiddling on with sort of like dark matter or something. They've messed about and they've opened up sort of stargates and stuff like that. And it's let some others loose into the atmosphere. So the veil is very, very thin at the minute. Yeah. So we've got to have our wits about it. We really need to have our wits about it. So yes, it's fine if you want to operate into the fifth dimension, but you can't stay. You cannot stay in the fifth dimension. I've said this loads of times because you're changing all the time. If you stayed in the fifth dimension, you would be dead, right? Because we're spirit beings in a physical suit. So we are programmed to be here in this physical suit. But once you start operating, you can, you're switching all the time. You can't stay in fifth, but you may go higher than fifth. That's just what's been put out there, yeah. But you're changing all the time, and that's what's magical about it. We're moving all the time. Nothing is static. Everything is moving, and that's for everything in this world. So if you're getting bad luck at the minute, you're going to be getting good luck. Everything's moving all the time. When people are getting bad luck continuously, that usually means that there's some major healing, or you're stuck in something, or you can get people who put curses on people and nasty things like that. Oh, they're going now. They're starting to flick their toys about. Come here. So it's we have to protect ourselves. We have to have our wits about it. And this is why I'm being seen, keep them grounded. You can still operate on the higher realms, but you're more aware of what's going on. Jazz, I am getting so many scam messages on Instagram from guys. I can instantly feel they're scammers. Oh yeah, there's loads of them. There's a rise of the scammers, what's going to be this year and next as well. Next couple of years until the internet police come in. It's I'm getting loads of trickery with emails as well. You just got to ignore them and block them. So there's different things you can do to protect your aura, What might work for me might not work for you, but you've got to be prepared. It's angels and demons now. That's where we are at the moment. So don't get freaked about it because they've always been here. It's just that the veil's lifting and you're seeing it more than ever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's so, how can I put it? It's like, it's going to become even thinner. Remember the program? I used to like watching it, True Blood, with the vampires. And it had, the fairies in and the deities in and True Blood. That's what it's like now. That's how it's becoming now. But we also have all sorts of beings. So once the veil is thin and we start to operate in the right direction and are grounded, you will start to see these extraterrestrial beings. Do you like True Blood? I nearly called Zella Suki. Come here, baby. They're ignoring us at the minute. My mother was watching that, I was watching the Vampire Diaries, which was more like sort of romantic. And my mother said, oh, you don't need to be watching that. She's in her 80s. She'd ring us up and say, oh, our Louise, you need to be watching this. It's really good. It's full of sex. I'd say, Mother, like cringe. Oh no, it's really good. There's everything in this, there's everything. And I eventually ended up watching it and I thought, God, it is good. She's so funny, my mother. She writes all the the Jackie Collins, like sexy novels and that. You like the Vampire Diaries, so did I. I like watching anything to do with vampires. It does freak us out sometimes, but I do like watching it. I believe that they are. I know this sounds a bit. People say they're myths and legends, but I do believe they are such things as vampires, and they are out there. you want to come to me? Where's she gone? Come here, you. Come to Mama. Come here. Come to Mama, baby girlie. Come and see you, Mama's girl. Do you want to see the ladies and gentlemen? Oh, darling, darling. Just saying hi. Say hi. This is Nala. She doesn't like cuddles, only when she wants a cuddle, don't you, baby? Say hi to the ladies and gentlemen. Oh, baby! Just what? Because she wants to be down. Gorgeous girl. Stella. Oh, Mummy's girlie. She's got the cutest little meow. She's purring. I'll go and get the other one. Wait till you see the other one. Mummy's girlie. That's a pretty girl. Say hi. Who's that? Say hi. Oh, baby, what you crying for? You all right? Is Stella? Your mummy's girl. No? Do you want to be down as well? Go on then. Are you all right, baby, crying like that? Cute, 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 isn't it? Come here, because Mummy wants to see why you cried like that. What are you crying for? Oh, Mummy's girl. It's Mummy's little angel, aren't you? Yes, Mummy's girl. Are you all right? Oh, darling. Yes, as you can see, I'm very... Oh, she's shaking. Are you all right? I'm just, I'm Mummy, as you can see. Go on, down you go, baby. Oh, they're playing with each other, they're fine. So we're in that world now. I'm not saying that you're going to be walking down the street and you're going to be coming up against a vampire or an Eric. But I think that people are, as we are ascending, we are coming into the true who we are and expressing our spirits more. Oh, thank you, Hazeltine. So we are expressing our spirits more. And this is the veil is thin, so we're heading in the right direction. We're definitely heading in the right direction. That's where we're going. So politics is definitely going to change. Mary, that's interesting what she's put in Twitch. Do you think that this is strange? When I am looking at a picture, I can feel the vibration of that picture. That is what I'm talking about. It's like we're starting to feel stuff more. And even vlogging's different. Everything's going to be different. You're going to notice a new wave of creators coming forward and healers coming forward. And it's all about being real and raw. That's what's going to start to fall into place. So it'll be on all walks of society, and it'll take place on social media, but it'll also take place within politics as well. They're peering away. You've got 5 cats there, Jessica. Wow, I bet that's hard work. Or is it not? So, this year and next year is going to be, I would say, it's going to have what on the roller coaster of events to come off, global events, crazy weather. Because Mother Gaia is feeling it as well. She is changing. Some of this stuff, I would say, is not natural, and some of it is natural. Because don't forget, we've got the sociopaths running around with a weaponry stuff as well, which is creating stuff. Hurricane Lee is heading straight for us here in the Canadian. Oh my God. I'll get my crystal ball and have a look. Thelma in California. I am worried about the threat of Russia said today about our country getting... That is a worry. I'll have a look at that as well. I'm not going to do a world predictions tonight, guys. I'll just look at some strange stuff there. And of course, on Monday, we had the memory of 9/11, God bless, to all them people what lost their lives, and horrendous, yeah. So it's something that will never be forgotten, will it? I think everybody around the world, never mind what they went through in New York. Let's see what's going on. Let's have a little look. I feel tonight I want to put a golden light of protection with silver, lavender, like a violet flame of protection around the USA, the UK, just around the globe, okay, against evil, all right? It's flatlining at the minute, so it's not coming out as a definite, but it doesn't mean that there could be situations. It's funny, you know, when you're saying that Putin had said that. Is that really Putin saying that? Just get a weird feeling. I've often wondered if he's got attachments on him as well. People are getting used like puppets. The major events that I see is cyber, crazy weather to take place, something to do with water. There could be a situation with aeroplanes, but it's not a definite. I hope not, but I'm getting the 21st, major key points, the 21st, the 17th, the 4th, the 13th coming through very strong. I'm actually getting some huge news coming out around the October time. We do need to raise this vibration in this forum tonight, that nothing nasty like that ever happens again. I'll pull some cards out on that. You're finally getting rain in Texas, that's good. I've gone back to sleep again. Are you alright, babies? Yeah, the 21st, the 17th, the 4th, the 13th. I do feel like there could be some big global news by the end of September as well. I'm going to have a little look, pull some cards out, because you can't ask the ball. You've got to... that's scrying, do you know what I mean? Right, Queen Wanda, you're going to be absolutely fine with the Nova Scotia, is that it? I mean, you will get some wind damage, but... get a W or an M, and I don't know if it's going to go off into a different direction. That hurricane. Foresight group remote viewed Putin and his reptilian energy around him influencing him. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Like, is this fully Putin? I feel that there's something influencing him, and it's like it's in the outer realm, what we've been talking about tonight, like demonic. Yeah. So he's definitely being tempted. I want to say that's Putin there, as I've pulled that out there. There he is, the King of Pentacles. And there's like temptation there, so it's like temptation of the devil type of thing. Temptation of the devil. He has not got long on this planet. And I don't know when, but that's what I'm being given. His destiny is going to take, there's a big twist in the road, and it's going to, something funny is going to happen to him. I don't know, I just get like a funny feeling. All right. 8 of Cups. He said awful things before, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go ahead. But I think that you've got to understand, you're not just looking at Putin, you're looking at other idiots out there as well who can do awful things. Do you know what I mean? But I just think, like I said, it's the veil very thin at the minute. So everybody's showing their true colours. Everybody is showing their true colours. Nothing can be really hidden for what's to come. High Priestess. A lot of secrets to come out. And some of these people aren't real people. That's what's being given to us. Some of these people aren't real people, or they're being very manipulated by an outer source. Mary, can you check on this? Because somebody was talking about this in the UFO community on Facebook. Putin's going to be the one that is going to do the fake alien invasion. Right, I'll check that out for you. I mean, they've got the far advanced technology as well, do you know what I mean? Could Putin do a fake alien invasion? Military operation, yes. Yes. It's on his list, yes. That's harvest. So harvest can not be many things, but it could be like this time of year, like the fall coming in. Doesn't mean it's this year, it could be next year, do you know what I mean? But I'm actually getting that. I'm getting like harvesting energy. That's where we're at the minute as well. Is we'll have to protect our energy from energy vampires, negative AI, that type of thing. It's a harvesting of energy. E2I's told us this, my bane of light. It's like they're trying to come in to take our energy off, our soul catching. I think that Putin has very highly advanced secret military operational stuff, and I think that they've been very much in on the hybrid program and other things of alien abduction and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they've been behind it as well. But like I've always said, when it kicks off, go inside and shut the door. It doesn't mean that we're going to get it around our area, but for it to be a full global thing, that would take some doing. Do you know what I mean? There would have to be more than one country. If it was going to be a full global thing, it would take more than Putin to pull that off. And it's funny what you said, that he's meeting with Kim Jong-un. My good God. them two together. So they would be planning on something very negative if they did. But I get Kim Jong-un, there's something not right with him. I don't think he's the real Kim Jong-un, or there's something not quite right with him. It's like he disappeared for a while and he came back and he looked all different. Go inside and shut the door. But you've got to understand, you know, we've got very strong forces. Military. So please don't worry about this. Do you know what I mean? But they've tried that. They've tried all sorts of things over the last couple of years, and they will try something else. The Wheel of Fortune's coming in. So it's a case of don't feed into the fear, but just protect yourself. And have a plan. If you knew, think in your head of all the different scenarios of what could happen, and how we can protect our families through a situation like that. There is something definitely military going off at the minute. All right, and you're talking from the good to the bad. Okay, so you've got the best possible decision. It's like the race to the finishing line. The good guys, the bad guys, whatever you want to call them, and it's racing to the finishing line. It always reminds us of like follow the yellow brick road, follow. It's like Wizard of Oz with Dorothy, and she's going to find out who Oz is. And you've got the Munchkins and that. What is going on with Trudeau? I'll have a look for you. Trudeau. I'm getting very controlled. I can never really tune in with him properly. I get like a very robotic energy from him. You know what I mean? There's something funny going on with his love life as well. But I see big changes ahead for him. And his future isn't politics. I see him leaving and going into something else. Something else that he's going to go into. It's funny, you know, I'm getting the WAF, and I don't know if he's going to go in with them or he's connected with them, but I actually see the WAF in a lot of trouble into the future. Just thought I would say that. They're not elected, are they? They're not publicly elected. They're just like an individual group of people who've like formed. He's going to make announcements, and I don't feel the Canadian people are going to like it. But then again, I just see him sort of being manoeuvred out and replaced with another man and a woman to come in to power. So Canada's going to take a lot of change there into the future. I've just asked in my head if he is a CLONE, and it said yes. But then it doesn't mean he's like, he could also be sort of, there's holographic clones as well. There's like different types of clones, and there's attachment where we can experience attachments. They've got the technology to put attachments onto people and wire them up to make them do stuff as well, like energy. He's not coming through authentic, like real. Let's have a look. Very compromised, Trudeau. I'm going to ask about Rishi Sunak. Got the Justice that's just popped out there. Jumper. The Justice. Let's pull some more cards out. He's not a clone. He's compromised. He's no, but he's not a clone. So some people are working with that arcane energy, and the arcane energy will have very far advanced holographic AI to manipulate people, that type of thing. It's not saying he is, Michelle. He's flesh. He's flesh from Adam and Eve. But he's actually, I'm just going to ask something here, because I've asked it before. Is there more flesh Adam and Eve's here, or is there more clones on Earth? It's half and half. There's quite a lot of them here. You know, sometimes these people in high places, like who've made a lot of money, like say, like Musk and people like that. Musk said a very interesting thing, where a lot of them are pushing and saying that we're overpopulated. And then Musk turned around and says, no, we're not. We're not overpopulated. Do you remember when he said that? And we need to start having more kids. Right? So obviously if he's making a lot of money, he's like quite like high up that ladder to find stuff out. Have you ever thought for 1 minute that maybe Musk knows something we don't? Like, he knows there's a lot more clones here than people, and we just think we're people. Basically, you don't know who you're walking down the street past, do you? You literally don't know who you are walking down the street past. Think about it. My good God. So maybe what he said was, Musk was, no, we need to have more kids when it's very underpopulated. Maybe he knows that. Maybe he knows that there's a lot of clones here. Do you know what I mean? I truly believe Musk knows a hell of a lot more than he's letting on. I'm just going to ask again. Come out. It has to. Eventually it has to. You can't cover and something, you know, it'll just eventually snap and it'll stretch and expose itself. This, I think it'll come out at the right timing. Would a person know they are a clone? I'm going to ask that, because that's a very interesting question there, Cat Manor. That's what's happening on this planet at the minute, because the system's rotten to the core. I mean, when in this year, like, you know, the millennium, why are people still living on the streets and people starving? Why is there so many starving kids in Africa and all of that? It shouldn't be happening. Everything needs to change. So expect some great big sort of events, and it is happening, but it's distractions. Do you know what I mean? Distractions. That's the church making big announcements, the Vatican. Sweetheart, why does cost of living go up almost 50% in only 2 to 3 years? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to ruin the system. So to ruin the system, they've got to break the system. And unfortunately, we the people get affected with it. So they say, look, it's not working, it's ridiculous, so we'll have to create something else. But this is when I feel things are going to have to take a massive switch over, because I think they're going to bring in this great technology and drip it in. They're trying to also get a cleaner planet as well, so they can get rid of a lot of stuff. The people are going poorer, yeah. The manipulators are not going poor, because a lot of these rich politicians and that, they're rich. Do you know what I mean? And it's got nothing to do with what side you bat on. You know what I mean? Political side. They're all rich normally. I mean, Rishi Sunak's really rich. Really, and so is his wife. They're like millionaires. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, like when everybody was suffering in the lockdowns and that, in the US and that, and you had like the likes of like Nancy Pelosi making loads of money when they were going to work and that, when what they were doing. Do you know what I mean? With what was it they were doing with the cryptos or whatever they were doing? They were making a lot of money in that. Yeah, the clone question. What was it, the question you asked again? I'm terrible for just going off on a tangent, aren't I? Inside trading, yeah. So what was the clone question again? Do people know they are clones? Some do, some don't. The majority of them do. Some people don't know they're clones. Right, I'm getting a download here. So the older clones... The older clones always knew they were clones. Alright? And they're still in process of producing them clones. I know this sounds crazy what I'm saying. This is what I'm being given. Like it's sort of like a clone sort of factory, wherever they're making them. But they've got a new holographic cloning center now, or cloning centers, not just on this planet beyond. And they are replacing people. And these people operate... Oh my God, this is crazy. This is when I need a cigarette or a drink. Some people are getting replaced by clones, and people aren't realising they're getting replaced, like their loved ones and stuff like that, or colleagues. I need to pull some cards out on this. Walk-ins. Well, that's walk-ins, isn't it? But this is on a higher level of a clone. They're doing it in a holographic way, extracting souls, replacing the souls and putting different souls in. So there's natural walk-ins. So say like if somebody had a car crash or somebody was nearly dying and their soul lifts out, because your soul's in and out all the time when you're doing astral traveling. The soul can then access to get in. That they know how to do that. That's natural walk-ins. But then you've got the extracting. They've got something where they can extract off people and put something else in, and people don't realise. But the clone of the being, it's a bit like going back to when I was talking about the exorcisms and something housing a body. They've got the God code, basically. At this high technology equipment they've got it all. It depends on the clone. So what you were asking before there, Catmanna, is would the clone know it's a clone? So with this highly advanced technology, then what they're doing now is it's holographic how they're doing it, or they're doing it where they're extracting someone out of somebody and then they're putting somebody else in. It's soul pinching, putting another spirit into their body, housing them. They don't need to do so much the clones because they're doing this soul pinching thing. Yeah, that's what they're doing now. Time for a drink, yeah. Pass one to me, Teddy. It depends on what's housed you. So you could have something nice what's in you, which is very similar to what was taken, but you could have something not nice what's in you, and it'll know it's operating in that person, and it's intermingled where it knows who it is, and it's pretending to be, oh my God, good God, it's pretending to be that person, but it's not that person. And again, it's going back to what the Catholic Church talk about, because they hide that a lot. Don't forget, there's been an attack on the church, and the Vatican talked about this. They talked about the deep church. You can look up all of this. So your soul it's coming in and out all the time when you're going to sleep. So they've got this technology where they can take a soul and replace somebody else in. So what they're doing with the other souls. Mary, I think my sister's soul is switched when she had died, because before she died and came back, her soul was much more nicer, and now her soul is dark and not on God. Well, it is. It's a big violation of free will. What was the question I was going to ask again? Oh, yeah, what do they do with the souls they've took? I need a drink. They're putting them into the clones. Oh my God. So it's soul harvesting. No, they can't. You're right. Star, moon, stars. Michelle. No, sorry, it's gone like that quick. Debbie Pop. If you're a child of God, they cannot take your soul, right? Yeah. So how they're getting these souls? It's a soul agreement from certain individuals. Some people are wide open and they are susceptible to it. This is like a big network, this. Do you know what I mean? And that's how the drugs come in, the street drugs, which is being passed by DS to allow to come over the borders to open people up so they can get it. To get them type of thing. And then you've got it's the souls are being taken and put into the artificial intelligence, the synths. How long has this been going on for? Have you been able to channel since you've got cats? Yes. I channeled on Sunday night, I believe I did, didn't I? The tower. Right. There's a good side to this as well. So the Pleiadians that I channel, a lot of us are in parallels. So I've discovered when I've been doing people's Akashic records that how you become into a parallel. So your soul can be in many different places at the same time, okay? But sometimes through soul agreements, our souls can split, and sometimes through fighting with the archons in the past or whatever, there's all different ways how we can lose part of our soul. So with the Pleiadians showed me that this has happened with a few people that I've done Akashic records with, and myself, that they've come in and replaced that person what's lost his soul, replaced it with a part angel or part starseed, you know, a bit like a walk-in. So they've made people better when they've lost part of their soul. And then that other bit of soul's been discovered. So what they do is they collect these beautiful souls and they have them for choosing their children, you know, in like sort of highly advanced sort of baby clinics or like nurseries. They can choose it can be done for good, not just for bad. It can be done for good, not just for bad. But look at that. We've got the upside down tower. So the dark market isn't just child trafficking. You're talking soul harvesting for synths. And there's money being made by this. That's why we've got to raise the vibration, because if you raise the vibration and we keep grounded, they can't do this. Do you know what I mean? When the DS falls, gangs and mafia people will be arrested, yeah. Because there's also the tentacles coming off where they're making all the money as well. And that's how I've known this for a while, but I didn't know they were swapping it around. So that makes sense. They're taking it's quite shocking, isn't it, once you start looking into it? They're taking the soul, replacing it, and then putting these souls into something else. Are these dark souls? Yeah, it's the underworld. So it's an archon energy. They can't extract. If you don't allow it, and you are in a high vibration and you've got faith, they can't extract. So it's people who are basically on a very low vibration, or they are that's how you get people who suddenly change overnight. You know, you get somebody, I've talked about this before, it's like one minute you've got your girlfriend or your boyfriend, or all of a sudden they just act odd and they're not with it. Has this ever happened to any of you? You know, like one minute you've got your boyfriend or your girlfriend and then they're normal, and then all of a sudden they're not, and they seem different. And people will say, oh yeah, probably because he was having an affair or she was having an affair, but not necessarily. There's always another side to things, isn't there? It's done astrally. Yeah. Your sister was loving and caring before something happened. Then she came into a coma and she became, mean and disrespectful. Yeah, that happened to me with somebody. Yeah, almost like you're dealing with the devil. So it's replaced with some sort of archon energy or something. So we've got to take responsibility. Yes, you can. You see it. You see it within your soul. Has this happened in Hollywood with different people at a different level? So there's a lot of souls being extracted in and out from naturally happening. So is that where selling the soul comes in from? Selling the soul. Selling the soul. Yeah. So we are in like sort of like them times at the moment. That always reminds us of like I don't know, like an Atlantis energy. We're another Atlantis. Some are doing it on purpose. Some clones know they're clones because they agree to it. With the soul, it could have been where their souls, real people born on this planet, and they agree to it, their higher selves agree to it, so they were allowed to remember, to accept the clone. Interesting. Three cards here. Where there's a dark side, there's a light side. And it's information that we need to understand, physics that we don't understand. But yes, going against consent is wrong. And they will not always get away with it. And we individually not going into the panic on it, it's just standing there and believing that you are protected as above and below from every angle. You are protected, you are protected. So there's very few authentic people on earth. The ones who are awakened and believing in God are protected. Alright, so I hope that's helped. The new babies coming onto the earth plane now, the children are on a different level of enlightened beings and they cannot be manipulated. The animals can't be replaced. They've done it. They experimented on these situations, the extraterrestrials and the dark scientists behind the scenes and that. They experimented on the animals, but the animals then are interested in and that could have a lot to do with why we're chopping and changing, like what Mary said. This is going to sound a bit crazy that some people's energies and vibrations change because my guy friend, normally I feel really attracted and close to him and now I feel disconnected. it might, I'm not saying it's a definite, but it could be, yes. Anything's possible, Mary. Right. A few more questions. Oh my God, these are bouncing all over. That's what's happening on Earth at the minute. The High Priestess. So we need to take our power back. Look at this. The balance. You can't have the light without having the dark. But she's balanced. Nature is the way. Animals, nature. Look, there's Ella. Be in alignment for what's to come. Because satanic forces are at large. Oh yes, I know, Hazel time. So the first step is what Moonstar said, is the first step is becoming aware, staying vigilant, not walking around in fear, because then you're just going to attract that. You've got to know that you're safe. So even though we've touched upon what could be out there within, you know, the technology and that, you are safe. You are safe. If you believe you are safe, you are safe. You do not consent. You do not consent to anything that you don't agree with. I have been told tonight, this is coming in from source, that many have sold their souls. For the cloning. Be concerned but not panicked. I like that, Teddy. Heavy fear attracts evil. Never be afraid. Walk with your head held high. Like the song. Walk through a storm. What's that? I need the lyrics to that. Now this is going akka since I've done that. I've said all of that. Never walk alone. He was the original one with Jerry and the Pacemakers, guys. Listen to the lyrics to this, guys, right? When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain. This is what's to come, I believe. For your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. So even though I've discussed, you know, the situation of what is out there and what could be out there with the secret technology, there's always a polar opposite. There's always a double side. There's always, where there's a good side, there's a bad side. It's still going to change. All of this technology is going to come in. But once it's outed, then you've got to understand, then we have a choice when it's all outed. Does that make sense? You're not, when it all comes out, like Edward Snowden talked about this, you know, look what they did. They couldn't get back into the country because he exposed what they were doing. But we all know now what they're doing, what they're tracking with. But we've got no choice in the matter. But once it comes out, you're going to have a choice. And we are going to be sovereign beings. What we've chose here to come to do. Nobody said it would be easy, but we haven't got to feed into the fear. So you're aware of it, but they're not going to win. You're not going to fall into the trap of fearment and lowering your vibration. Going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the night, we have to take our power back. And we have to protect our minds, our bodies, our souls against any form of darkness. Any form of negative energy that you do not want to do, you do not want to do. It's as simple as that. You are all in control and you are all safe. Just because we've gone down the rabbit hole, it doesn't mean anything bad's going to happen. We walk with God. There is the rise of the foot soldiers. We are the foot soldiers. There is the rise of the magicians and the witches, the warlocks, the druids. God, it's the Great Awakening. It's the great spiritual awakening. Mary, I ask for my Palladian ancestor Maya to place a Palladian protection bubble of light within us and around us all, around us now. Exactly. And get to know your angels, guys. You know, lie in bed or lie on the couch, empty your mind. You could keep practicing. It doesn't just come to you straight away. And just let your mind just float. You could even listen to some nice music. All right? Be aware what kind of music you're listening to. If you're listening to rock, you're going to attract all sorts of strange beings in. Nice dance music works if you're going to attract the Pleiadians in or the angels, you know, trancy music. Just listen to your nice spiritual music. Shut your eyes. Then ask. You can say it out loud or whisper it or say it in your head. Show me, give me my guardian angel's name. Just say that. You've got to empty your head before you do it. And then the first name that comes into your head, even if it sounds a silly name, write it down, and that is your angel's name. And then you can get to know your guides. You can do a separate occasion. Give me my main spirit guide. Give me some spirit guides' names. Write them down. They don't just suddenly come to you because you would have a pure brainstorm. You've got to get to know them. And then you can meditate, maybe it's with crystal. And I think if you do it in the afternoon or in the morning, don't do it before you go to bed at night time. Because then you go too tired. The best time to connect with the outer realms is to do it maybe, 60 winks. Nice sunny Sunday afternoon, lying on the bed. You've got the sunshine coming through the window. And you can just listen to some nice music. You can get some amazing connections. Explore your Stargate, guys, because a lot of the time you've been told it's your imagination, but it's not your imagination. You are magical, spiritual beings of the light. And then you can ask who your star friends are and stuff like that. That's how you access. So when you're going to sleep at night time, a lot of you will get this, and you're going to sleep at night time and you might just sort of see random faces coming in. You don't know who they are, but you feel familiar. Just random faces coming in. Do you get that? Do you get that? Normally when that happens, it's you'll see swirling colours to start with. And then you'll start to see random faces coming in. That's you opening up here. Here, you're going through your Stargate. Keep practicing that. Keep accessing that. The universe is within. You've got it, guys. You've all got the key. let's pull one more card. I'm getting tired because it's 2 o'clock nearly. And I need to go and check these kitties. Yes, Mum, and I see faces, but it comes in parts of their faces like a puzzle. Oh, yeah, because it's pixelated. For the first few days, I've been having tingles on my head. I don't feel it's anything bad. Could be like it's something opening up there. Do you know what I mean? The Queen of Pentacles. The Peace. Feminine, masculine energy. That's also that's changing. That's trying to mellow and sort everything out as well. Could be downloads, yes. That's how you say it. The Queen of Pentacles is like a feminine energy. The Peace is what's going to come, but it's also angelic, alien times. It's balance, what's coming to Earth. And not just for Earth, it's for within us, like to... It's happening on every level, so it's happening within us. The masculine and the feminine is getting balanced out. That's why there's a rise of transgender. You can look at this on every level. It doesn't have to be always what they're up to or the dark lot are up to. It could be, there's a spiritual aspect to this as well. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, definitely. We are all safe. We are all safe. Biblical times, guys. 8 of Pentacles. There's definitely changes going on with the US dollar could massively crash here. But there is good agents working and there's good angels keeping us safe. You've just got to access them and believe in them. There's far more good on this planet than evil. And no, I'm going to say something else as well. Not all the clones are connected with the bad. Just seemed like I heard like a groaning noise outside. Not all the clones are working for the bad. There's some of these clones connected with the Pleiadians as well, or different star races. I hope that's helped there, guys. And that's the children of New Earth. But we've also got messengers. There's messengers walking amongst us. Oh my God, I'm getting like another download. Angel messengers. Watch for them coming into our reality. Mary, not all clones are bad, just like not all humans. Exactly. We cannot judge a book by the cover. It doesn't matter how the soul has entered the body. We're all being taught a lesson here, and we're going to be the ones what's going to turn it around. Not the politicians, not the rulers, us. Each and every one of you out there watching this tonight, you are magical, amazing angels, spirit beings of the light, which have all come here to do your bit for society. Good night, guys. I hope that's helped. And yeah, it's angels and demons, but we have to keep our feet firmly on the ground. We have to stay focused and don't lose faith. No matter what you believe in, whatever religion, don't lose faith. What works for you works for you. Never mind anybody else, what anybody else thinks. What works for you works for you. And I'm going to leave that one with you. And good night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. And I'll be back Thursday night. I might do some channeling then. And I'm off to make a hot chocolate, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, it just makes sense, doesn't it? That's why Musk said, that's why Musk said we need to start having more kids. It's underpopulated. What a strange thing I thought when he said that. It's underpopulated. Now it makes sense why he said that. It's always good to go down the bunny hole, isn't it, late at night? Before you go to sleep tonight, guys, just think of a nice thought. Put yourself into that lovely pink cotton wool bubble. And that the pink cotton wool is surrounding you all. And protecting you, surrounding your home. And you're just wrapped with angels' wings. And just hold on to that good thought before you go to sleep at night time. Good night, stay safe, wherever you all are around the world. I'm signing out now. May the force be with you all. See you Thursday.